Evening. It is so good to see you here tonight. We're so elated that you can join us tonight here on the East County North Star broadcast. We have a treat for you tonight. I am Dr. Lamont Francis. I am the senior pastor of the Delta Bay Church of Christ, and I'm also the vice president of the East County North Star. East County North Star was formed by local African American citizens to give the 47,000 plus African Americans living in East Contra Costa County a voice. We are an online newspaper that are offering editorial and op-ed articles on various aspects of black life in East Contra Costa County. Oftentimes, we understand that local and national news is diluted and dispersed from a non-black perspective. Many black East County residents feel frustrated when our stories are misrepresented or ignored. This online newspaper is meant to empower, enlighten, and inspire the black community. We are elated again tonight because we have a special guest with us, and we want to introduce you to Miss Dominique King. Dominique King is here with us, and if you don't know who she is, by the end of this interview, you will know who she is. She is currently running for Antioch Unified School District School Board in area number 5. And we're going to later talk about why her campaign and her election is probably the most important election in the last maybe several years in this district, and how her election can turn the city around. And so we're so elated that she is here. Ms. Dominique King, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Francis. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. So we're going to let people out there in the city of Antioch who may not know who you are, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, where you're from.
Okay, so I'm going to turn towards the camera because I feel like I have to make eye contact.
Yes.
My name is Dominique King, and I am indeed running for Antioch School Board in Area 5. I've been a resident here in Antioch for what feels like 9 years, but probably closer to 8, with my husband, Kenneth King, and our 3 children, 2 of which attend Antioch Middle School. Before living in Antioch, we resided in Brentwood, and we decided to move over to Antioch because we wanted to make sure we raised our family in a diverse and inclusive environment. And so our children have went to public school here in Antioch, and we are right now, like I said, proud Eagle parents.
All right, good. Now, where were you raised? Where are you from?
So that is a great story behind that. I'm actually from a little bit of everywhere. My mother and her husband at the time had us transitioning from different places. So I really wouldn't say one particular place, but I'm from all over the Bay Area.
All over the Bay Area. Okay, so since you're running for school board, let us know a little bit about your educational journey. You can start as far back as kindergarten. Talk about your educational journey.
Ooh, to go back to kindergarten, I don't think I'll go that far. But no, so my educational journey for me, like I said, my family was very transitional. And so my journey really began at the age of 15. I was a high school dropout, and I didn't really have many options in front of me. By saving grace, I came upon a Job Corps commercial. So I went to Job Corps at 16. I graduated, and I came back to California and went right to work. And so I've had every job. Like, I've been a waitress, I've cleaned houses, done hair. I went on to be a flight attendant. Eventually, I've owned my 2 businesses. One I co-own with my husband, which is Leaning with the Kings, a health and wellness education platform.
Interesting. Great journey. Talk about some of the people along the way that has inspired you. Who has inspired you?
You know, this is a really touching subject for me because, honestly, I believe that my community is what saved me. And this is why I have such a passion for community. If it had not been the hands of counselors and teachers, police officers, just my neighbors and my friends' mothers, I don't know where my life would have ended up. And so there's way too many hands to count, and while I've worked for everything that I've gotten in life, I know that without those influential people, I would not be here today.
Excellent. So you were running for school board. You decided put your name in the hat. Tell us why you are running for school board and what people can expect from you. Why are you running for Antioch Unified School District School Board?
I'm running for Antioch School Board because, to be quite frank, Antioch School District is failing. Our children are performing in the bottom % of every standardized test that there is. And along with that, our kids are in the middle of a mental health crisis that has gone on far longer than we've been in a pandemic. And when we look at our teachers are tired, they are burnt out. And aside from us having some of the highest wages for teachers, we cannot retain them. And that tells us that there's a real problem there. And so as a parent, looking at these things and being one of those people that have continually voted for the same people, I don't know about you, but they say when you continue, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And I'm ready for something different, and I believe that my community is ready for something different, and it starts on that school board.
Excellent. So, your opponent is Ms. Mary Rocha. She's the first Latina mayor of the city of Antioch. She is a longtime resident. She is very popular. You're running against an incumbent. What are the differences between you and your opponent, Mary Rocha? Why should someone vote for Dominique King over Mary Rocha?
Well, that is a very direct question. The first thing I want to do is I don't want to turn this into a shouting match of sorts of me over her, but I do want to talk about why I feel like it is time for someone new in that position. Like I stated before, our children are in a mental health crisis. Mary Rocha twice has tried to rescind mental health measures on the board. It wasn't until we had a student by the name of Mason Rodriguez actually commit suicide that she stopped doing that. And so when we think about what that means for our students when they're on a campus where there's 750 students to one counselor, that's life-changing for a child. And so that is the difference between her and I. I want to push more of policy that is looking at our kids as a whole versus trying to treat symptoms. Because as you know, when you go to the doctor, you don't want him to fix the symptom, you want him to fix the problem, right? And so that is one of the differences. The other difference is Mary Rocha has been in the education realm for decades, and we've seen what our numbers look like. We've seen the statistics. We know that there is something happening that isn't working, and it's time to have fresh faces who are willing to sit on a board and be able to collaborate with their other board members. There's a level of civility that we need to restore back to our board. There is a level of focus and direction that needs to be centered on that school board, and I believe I'm the person that can work with my other board members in order to bring that.
Talk about some of the safety measures, because over the last 10 years, well over 3,000 students have left the district. The city is growing numerically, but the district is shrinking. And one of the reasons that many students cite, and these are students of all different racial and ethnic backgrounds, is safety. How will you make schools safe?
So yes, let's be clear. All of our students, there's not one race that is not touched by what is happening when it comes to our safety measures. I believe that when we look at Rocha and some of her opinions on who should be on campus as far as school resource officers, in a time when we were in the most heightened moment for police brutality, in the heightened moment when it comes to certain races feeling underrepresented, that was an absolutely horrible idea. We have to be thinking about how we can have security on campus that is going to reflect the students, that is going to be able to match where they are, to be able to communicate with them, to look at them not as a possible inmate, but as potential, and that can meet them where they are and can do that in an effective way. And so when it comes to safety, it is of my highest priority because our kids cannot learn in an unsafe environment. But in doing so, we have to ensure that we have the right people on those campuses with the right type of training to best help the rest of our staff and teachers.
Okay. You are riding a wave of momentum right now, and your name is trending. Your name is trending all over the internet right now as the new choice for Antioch. Um, Talk about some of your current endorsements. Who you've been endorsed by.
There is a long list. But before I talk about that, there is something that I do want to touch on. We have looked at our district, and even within the last year, we have lost about 1,000 students. And that is a real concern when you talk about families fleeing. We are in one of the biggest family flight modes where kids are going over into other districts. They are traveling to the Bay Area just to attend school. And that shows that there is a lack of trust between families and this city. And in order for us to restore that, we have to work from the ground up. And we have to start rebuilding that community bond that is so needed for us to make sure our kids are successful. So I just wanted to make sure that I was clear on that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, when you talk about that, I think we need to talk about the fiscal impact of having a healthy school district and what that would mean for homeowners in terms of their property values. We know that informed parents, when they move to a city like Antioch, which is a great place to live, the first thing they're going to do if they have children of school age is look at the schools, and they're going to look at the performance of the schools. And when they see that Antioch School District schools, most of them are 2s and 3s and 4s, they're going to, like you said, opt out to go to other districts. I know parents who are paying rent in Brentwood and Oakley so they can go to those schools. People that are sending their kids back to Pittsburgh and Oakland, or even opting for private school or homeschool, just to get away from Antioch. So talk about the fiscal impact that having a healthy school board would do in your election and what that would do for people's pockets.
So let's begin here. When we look at our budget and we look at the money that comes into our school, we have our state funding, we have our federal funding, and then 23% of that comes from taxpayer. And in order for that money to be best utilized, we have to have families willing to be here to grab that tax money and hopefully one day increase that tax money. But we have to make sure that families want to stay. And like you said, the biggest reason why families want to stay, especially here in Antioch, we have a lot of our older residents are passing their homes on to their children. We have a lot more young families that are moving in. And if we want to make sure that our kids are staying here from K to 12, we have to ensure that it's worth it. And if not, we're not only going to lose money when it comes to the resources we can put into our schools, we're going to economically lose when it comes to what goes on in our city at large. So really it begins in our education system, because that is why families choose a place to live when they want to start their families.
All right. So let's talk about your endorsements. Okay. Let's get to your endorsements. Let's talk about some of the individuals and institutions who have endorsed your campaign, that heard something that you said and they said, we need to get on board. Name some of those individuals.
Absolutely. So I have just been endorsed by Congressman John Giaramundi. I've been endorsed by Contra Costa District Attorney Diane Becton. I've been endorsed by Antioch, our mayor, Lamar Thorpe, Councilwoman Monica Wilson, Councilwoman Tamisha Walker, the VP of Antioch School Board, Antonio Hernandez. I've been endorsed by the Marsh Creek Democratic Club, the Democratic Club of Contra Costa County, Our Revolution, the Moms of Gun Action, and then I've also been endorsed by Andy Lee, who is a Contra Costa trustee. I also sit on the Parks and Recreation Commission Board and been endorsed by Chair Marie Arce, Pat Young, who is the incumbent for the Water District, and then Susanna Williams, who is the chair, vice chair of the DPCC, and she sits on Our Revolution. So yeah, there is quite a few, and I feel like I'm missing, and the Young Democratic Party, yes.
So that is quite a list.
It is quite a list, a good list.
A great list, and they chose not to support a longtime incumbent. Your election would mean the world for Antioch. It is the first step in a direction of bringing the school district into the 21st century and getting rid of the old mindset, the old Antioch, the old good old boys network, and really putting this district on the right track for success. And so let's talk about how people can become a part of this movement that you have. right? You're endorsing, you're standing on healthy schools, healthy kids. How can people contribute to this movement? How can they become a part of this movement? Because this is definitely a movement.
I do believe it is definitely a movement. Personally, I have all of these great endorsements, and I'm proud of every single one because they were founded on the fact that I've been transparent about why I'm running, and I've been very clear that my main focus is our school community. And so for the community at large, if they wanted to support, they can always head to my website and volunteer by helping me get out there and walk, volunteer by helping me make some phone calls. And you can also donate directly on my website. We always love a good donation, for a campaign, a first-time campaigner. We are running off the dollars of everyone who's choosing to contribute.
What's the website?
The website is DominiqueLKing.com, just my name, then my middle initial and my last name. And so, yeah, you can volunteer, you can donate, you can also just show up when we're out there hanging up posters and come cheer us on.
All right. And so we know how people can contribute to your campaign. Anything else you want to share with the audience?
Absolutely. If you give me the floor to talk, I'm going to talk. So I do want to say that I have been in my community far longer than running for this position. I am a school site council member, a representative. I sit a proud Eagle parent for AMS. I'm also a part of the school community work group. I'm a member of ELAC and DLAC and the African American Parent Advisory. I've also worked as a volunteer, as a basketball coach. I've worked as a tutor for K through 3rd for children that have challenging learning abilities. That's my passion right there. I believe in pushing potential versus punishment, and those kids need us the most. What I am foundationally running on is I believe that we have to make sure that our schools feel safe and are supported and that they have updated learning materials. I also believe that we need to ensure our teachers have the resources and the training to teach our diverse community. We are one of the most diverse cities in Contra Costa County. I also believe that we need to be focusing on integrating effectively, not just placing it out there, but effectively our CTE programming. Our trades push this country, and if we're not investing in them and putting them on the same level as we are with college preparation, which we need to do a better job of, our kids are missing out. And finally, we need to build that bond between community and our schools. If we do not do that, if we do not do these things, Antioch will be at a loss because we have to have students come back. There has to be a percentage of students and people who come back who want to inspire the next generation, who want to sit in the next board seat, who want to be the next mayor.
That's right.
So that is why I'm running, and that is what my platform is, and ensuring that we address our mental health and wellness needs of every student.
It's time to take up a collection after that. It's time to take up a collection. Time to take up a collection. We got to take up a collection. Let me just address those who are watching right now. You've heard the gospel. That's it. Now let me extend the invitation. The invitation is right there. This is a very crucial election. If we elect Dominique King, we will have the majority on the school board, and then real change will take place. It's very important that we not get lazy and that we go out to the polls. Now, more than just your vote, signs cost money, campaign costs money. We need to put our money where our mouth is. We need to go ahead and contribute. Go to her website now, right now, like Jimmy Walker said, now. Go there and contribute $5, $10, $20. When you get your money, make sure that you put something behind her campaign. We need you out there on the corners. We need you going ahead putting up signs. We need you to tell everybody, just remember, King, 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 King. Make sure the real woman king, forget the one in the theaters, the real woman king is right here. And we have to make sure that she gets elected. Now, we have a special guest in the audience who has endorsed her. He is the most famous mayor in the history of the city of Antioch. You know him. I know him. We all love and adore him. Mayor Thorpe is in the house. Come on, Mayor Thorpe. Come on. Come up, come up, come up, come up. We want you to come on up. and let us know why you are endorsing this wonderful candidate. Mayor Thorpe, it is so good to see you. Just look over there at the camera right up top and just let people know why you are endorsing Ms. Dominique King. Why?
Because you know, there's a lot of candidates running for public office, and I only extend my endorsement to those who I genuinely believe in individuals who I feel like I've connected with in some fashion. And so Dominique is a very humble individual, but she's a very strong woman. And I was blown away by her personal story that she shared a little bit about, but there's a lot more to her personal story that absolutely, I'll be honest, it brought me to tears when I heard it. And it brought me to tears because this city, while it's one of the most racially diverse cities in the Bay Area, there are so many different kinds of people who live here in Antioch. And everybody, I don't care how you got here, everybody's come here with their own personal story of success, their own personal story of struggle. And Dominique represents and embodies every single one of those individuals in our city. That's right. And so she wears Antioch. She is Antioch. And so, you know, I know Antioch has come a long way in its 150 years. And Antioch is not the same city that it was back in 1876 when we burnt down Chinatown to the ground and asked certain types of people to leave our community. We're a different city today, and Dominique represents the inclusiveness, the diversity, the differences in our community, but also represents the maturation that is taking place in our city as it relates to exploring different ideas and who we are and where we're going to go. And so I think she embodies everything our community represents, and that's why it was so easy to endorse her for Antioch School Board. And I'm just exceptionally proud of who she is, her family. These are people of public service. Her husband is an Alameda County Sheriff's deputy. She has been committed to our youth. And so it makes common sense to support Dominique because she offers so much for our community.
Thank you so much. Do we have anybody else that would like to come up? We have Councilwoman Monica Wilson. She is also endorsed. Now, you are popular because they didn't do all this. They don't do this for me like that. You must be popular because everybody's showing up to the party for Miss Dominique King. Why are you endorsing Dominique King?
I'm very casual today, but...
No, you're fine.
I fully endorse Dominique King. And you know what? When I first met Dominique, because everybody comes to you, I'm going to run. I'm going to run. Okay, well, what are you doing? And when I first met you, and you don't know this story, but when I first met you and you told me about yourself and why you were running, I got that, I'm getting a chill right now. Remember back in 2007, 2008 when Obama decided to run?
Yes.
And we were listening to him and we were like, what do I need to do?
Yes.
And that's how I felt after I talked to her. I'm like, what do I need to do? So that's why I'm really supporting, because I got that excitement that I haven't felt in a long time. I got that excitement that you are going to do things to move us forward, that you're going to be a community uniter. You're going to listen to all voices, not the select few. You're going to listen to everybody. So that's why I really, was very excited to endorse you and support you and do whatever I can to make sure that you get elected. Again, your website, DominiqueLKing.com, because we need to, it's not a donation, it's an investment.
That's right.
We're investing in Dominique, and we're investing in our youth, and we're investing in our community. So let's invest in Dominique so we can propel our not only of our schools, but our community forward. So that's why I'm endorsing her. Apologize for being very casual, but I just was very excited because I wanted to hear you speak today.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Wilson, first black councilwoman in the city of Antioch. So you have historical candidates that are backing you up. Listen, folks, if you want more of the same, if you want the board members, the board meetings to look like the Jerry Springer show, and that's what it's been, a straight circus, do what you've been doing. Put Mary Rocha right back in there, and you're going to get somebody who's rubber stamping the superintendent, everything she does. If you want to try something different, if you want to try community, and this candidacy here transcends race. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. She's inclusive. She has skin in the game. 2 children that go right up the street to Antioch Middle School. So her policies will affect her own children. This candidate is different. This is different. Please join this movement. Please go to her website. Please donate. Please start knocking on doors. Start talking about just King, King, King. Bigger than Regina King, okay? Bernard King, Martin Luther King, all the kings put together, okay? Now, you there. She spoke at our church this past Sunday, and honestly, she did a better job than me speaking. You did. I mean, very like Lisa McDowell from Coming to America. We were ready to pass around the plates. Seriously, all that. We were ready to do it. I know you believe the children are our future. So we are so elated that she is here, and so we want you to go ahead and do that. So as we sign off, do you have any final statements before we sign off?
I just want to thank everyone who has tuned in, everyone who will tune in, and just to reflect what you said, it is time to start doing something different if we want to see something different, and our kids will reflect that. Our kids, our students will reflect what we as the parents are putting into our city. And so I thank everyone for listening in. And yeah, go to my website.
Shout out to your kids. Shout out to your strong black husband. He's right there. Kenneth is in the house. God bless you, brother, for all the support. She can't do it without you. He is the campaign manager. We're talking about a strong, solid family living right here in Antioch. She's one of us. So as we sign off, again, we say in the words of Fred Hampton, we say peace to those who are willing to fight for it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this program has been sponsored by Freddie B's Barbecue, where you needs no teeth to eat my beef. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Good night. Take care.